Trust me, the more time you spend going through your belongings, the easier it will be for you to decide what to keep and what not to. The more you work at it, the less time consuming it will become. You might even discover the added bonus that it will feel wonderful to visit a dump and throw worthless things as far as you are able to. Those are just a few lines from The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning by Margareta Magnusson. The whole idea behind Swedish Death Cleaning is that you are intentionally not leaving behind big piles of clutter for your posterity to have to go through and deal with. You don't have to be nearing the end of your life to reap the benefits. So let's go through Swedish Death Cleaning, take a look at some of these rules, and I think they're really helpful. I want to see what you think. As I mentioned, starting early can be a huge benefit. I think that it doesn't necessarily matter how long it takes you to declutter your space. Some people can declutter an entire house in 1 or 2 weeks. For other people, they like to go slowly and may take years to declutter. I love the idea that not putting off something like Swedish Death Cleaning until you're nearing the end of life. She says start by buying less. This is one of the things that I did when I first decided to declutter my space, put myself on a spending freeze. It is incredible how much it helps when you're not swimming upstream by continually bringing in more items as you're trying to declutter. When you put a stop or a hold on inventory coming into your space, you are constantly winning every single time you declutter. You're improving your space and you can clearly see your progress. Margareta says, don't start with photographs or letters or personal papers in general when death cleaning. Size really matters. Start with the large items in your home and finish with the small. It has been true for the most part that the things in my house that are the most valuable to me are small items. In fact, I need your help. Here is something small that's an absolute treasure. This was mine when I was 4 or 5 years old. It's a little Cupid doll, and my mom crocheted and sewed a bunch of outfits for this little doll, which I still have. Here's the thing. It got put in the bathtub and it's full of mold. Black mold. I have no idea if I can salvage this. It's to the point where you can see the mold through the little dolly. So what do I do? I love the idea of my daughter playing with it, but it's not safe if it's full of mold. So a tiny little item that I'm really hung up on at the moment. If you know what to do, please leave a comment down below because I would just love to keep her. She talks about something called the rod prick system, which I'm probably not saying that right, but basically this is the red dot system. Before you even declutter anything from your home, she says go around your house with a red sticker and a green sticker. Make decisions and put the sticker on the item. Red for things that need to leave your house and green for things you know for a fact you're keeping. She even says use yellow for things that you're going to think about, but this puts you in the mind frame of decluttering. It helps you start to make progress, and trust me, the decision making is the hardest part. It is for me. So when you are able to make progress just by making decisions, you feel like you're gaining momentum. You are making progress. And so it's so much easier then not only for you to get the items out of your house without having to think through it again, but it also helps if people are helping you declutter. You can get your family or friends involved, and you just say anything with a red sticker goes, anything with a green sticker stays. I love what she says here. Death cleaning emphasizes the reflection and celebration of life by detaching memories from material things. So often I feel like we think unless we keep the item, the memory is lost. I have found so much value in journaling. Let me show you what I do. So I have what I call a mother's journal. I filled up a couple of these, and I have my kids put their little handprints in here. I journal special memories that I want to remember, and then I'll include pictures along with a written description of the memory itself. Here is the dress my daughter was wearing in that photo. These dance recital dresses cost a fortune, which is why I think so many of us get hung up, including myself, when decluttering. I think of how much money I spent. There's also a very, very sweet memory attached to this dress. However, there's absolutely no way for me to get my money back. Trust me, I've already been through this. But what I'm doing instead of keeping the dress is writing a memory attached to this photo of her wearing the dress. Like she chewed a hole in the bottom of the dress right before she went on stage. I want to remember that. I don't need to keep the dress with the little hole chewed at the bottom to remember that. I just need to write it down. So have a mother's journal or a grandmother's journal and just write these things down attached with photographs, specific details about events. She says, choose a category that you believe is easy for you to handle. An easy category is one with many items to choose from and without too much sentimental attachment. For her, this is her closet of clothes. And she says it's nice because the sizing is so specific, it either fits or it doesn't. It's either comfortable or it's not, making it easier to make quick decisions. For me, clothes aren't as easy. So I didn't start there when I did my first declutter of my home. I started with my pantry. Tons of items to choose from, and the food, it was either expired or it wasn't. So choose an area for you that's the easiest to begin with. This next one has to do with just keeping your house clean and tidy. So she says, bring a bag with you or wear an apron with a deep pocket as you buzz about the house doing your regular routine and chores. Fill up this bag or apron. I really love the apron. You don't even have to carry it, but she says whatever belongs to other people, let them deal with their stuff at the end of the night. Something that I've really loved doing is having a bin labeled with each family member's initial, and this is where their stuff goes. When I'm cleaning the house and I notice people left their toys strewn about, their books, whatever, they have their own bin where I put their stuff, and they have to take care of it at the end of the night. She suggests creating a step-by-step to-do list of each either room or area of your house that you want to declutter. I loved this organized approach, and this is exactly what I did when I went about decluttering my space. I also call this my master list. It's a list that I do not throw away because these are areas of my home that I'm now going to have to go back and revisit. Otherwise, my house will just pile up with clutter again. So having this broken down and outlined for you keeps you on track. She says, reach out to family members, let them know that you're decluttering, and then take notes on things that they want you to set aside for them. And even now with my kids still living at home, I've never thought to go and ask them, is there anything really special that's belonged to me or our family that you would like to have one day? I think figuring out how to have that conversation delicately is a really beautiful thing. And then I can take notes on that and make sure never to declutter those things. She talks about having a throw away box. This is a box where you keep little collections that are only valuable and meaningful to you that you don't think anyone else is going to care about. She says, have this box and label it throw away. That way people know when they come in to clean up your house after you've passed on, they know that they don't even have to worry about making decisions about the contents of that box. It's just stuff that meant something to you, and it can be recycled or thrown in the garbage. I love this thought. She says, so if you do not have children of your own, you still have a duty to sort out your life. Go through your items, remember them, give them away. There is always a young person starting a new life, starting a new home. You don't have to be a blood relative to give them pots and pans, chairs from your attic, an old rug. When these young people can afford to purchase exactly what they want, they will pass your old furniture on to their friends and then to their friends and so on. You cannot know the places your objects may go after you are gone, and that could be a wonderful thing to contemplate. So here's a category that I really struggled with and still to this day have the hardest time with, and that is baby clothes. The memories attached to these little items are priceless, and of course I have pictures of my babies wearing their outfits, but first, when I was getting started with decluttering, I couldn't make any progress in this category. This was too difficult for me, so I didn't start with this. This was one that I did several months into my journey. Having the thought of somebody else being able to put their children in these darling little outfits is what finally helped me make progress in this category. I of course kept a few things, but I was able to get rid of most of it. And sometimes I even wonder if saying getting rid of it isn't a great way to phrase that. Sometimes I think passing it along is so much more helpful. Just a little mind game to play with yourself. So me thinking of passing little baby clothes along was so helpful. And speaking of decluttering being hard, here's another video on the screen to help motivate you and give you tips to inspire you to declutter your own space. I will see you over there. Bye.